Welcome to the Between Hoops podcast, where we talk basketball, pop culture, and everything in between, but mostly just basketball. I've noticed that in our slogan we say pop culture and everything in between, although it seems to just be basketball lately. Although we could talk about Morgan Wallen stiffen all of his loyal fans. That's something, but we won't get into that right now. It is episode 10. April 25th, 2023. This is actually going to be the first instance where I try to upload this the same day I record. So actually, Tuesday, April 25th, 2023, today. And this likely will be the last episode for the foreseeable future because campus is closing up soon, and all the equipment I get is from here on campus. So we'll just have to play it by ear. Hopefully I can come in and get some stuff, or maybe just buy my own equipment. I don't know yet. But I do know 10 is a healthy round number, so it may just end it here for now, for the foreseeable future, because I'm going to have a very busy summer ahead of myself with other things, like recording AAU basketball, and that might be it, and just enjoying it, relaxing, maybe going to the lake. I don't know. As you can see, Ryan is not here. I am by myself today, and I'm relocated. I'm in the K-Labs on campus because today is a very special instance where the equipment, I could only get it at this certain time. So Ryan is out in the fields right now farming, doing some farm stuff. I'm not a farmer. I don't know the lingo, but he's doing some kind of farm stuff. And I tried to Snapchat him and see if he is able to call in at least. Maybe we can get him on the phone later. Haven't heard back from him yet. I even snapped Kean Strode. He's another I would say Laker loyal fan, but he's really not a Laker fan. He's a LeBron fan, which is something completely different than what Ryan is. But I also had all of this stuff written down in front of me, and it just looks like scratch because I had everything I was going to write down and everything I was going to talk about, but I'm going through it right now, and it's been a bad day for me. Going down 3-1 to the Lakers is not something that I actually really thought would happen. So really it's just going to be me rambling and almost ranting about the Grizzlies' performance, and not that it was bad, because it wasn't bad. We had it right there until LeBron had to hit that. I would really almost call it a circus shot, because that was a tough layup to go into overtime. But it's been a rough day, and if I could get Ryan on the phone somehow, some way, he would let you know, because we were watching it together, just how much I was going through it. There was an instance where, and I think it was when D'Angelo Russell hit his 3 3-pointers in a row. I was like screaming and jumping up and down, not in a good way. Very stressed, and at one point my neck just started hurting, and I'm just like sitting there in pain. I feel like all over my body, just this pain. I almost had a panic attack. I don't know why I take things so seriously, but I was going through the motions, all right? And I woke up with like 3 new mouth ulcers, so maybe it's just stress-induced mouth ulcers I'm getting, and maybe like I have a headache. I had a headache all through the game, just pain throughout my body, and I woke up just gloomy because it's just like they were saying on ESPN, teams who go 3-1 win 95% of the time, and it's just not a situation I want to be in. And this season has just been such a roller coaster ride. There's been positives, there's been more negatives than positives. I feel like just with the injury bug and what Ja's been going through individually, it's just been a tough ride. And honestly, the season prior, last season, was the better season just because nobody thought we would be there. I mean, people didn't really think we'd be here this year, but here we are. But last year, I just felt like we had an overall better roster, more healthy roster through the playoffs until Ja got hurt, which, I mean, that's a whole nother thing. But, man, it's tough being a Grizzlies fan sometimes. And I got to understand, though, that when we drafted Ja Morant in 2019, I had no idea that we'd be in the playoffs as early as 3 years into his career. Well, 2 years really, because we played the Jazz as the 8th seed. But anyway, no, I did not think at the time like, okay, we're gonna have this success, this quick. But here we are, and we're the second youngest team in the NBA. You're gonna have these battle scars. You got to go through these lessons of maturity. You got to learn. which let's just start with that. In fact, speaking of maturity, we'll just start with that. The whole Dillon Brooks thing, that's something that has just spiraled out of control since the last time we spoke. Obviously, he says, I poke bears. I'll just find the audio for it because I'm sure we've all heard it, but um, pokes bears. Okay. Yeah, I'm sure we've all heard this, but we need to be reminded of it.
Poke bears. I don't respect no one until they come and give me 40.
To the Lakers, there's a look at it.
Okay. And then that play was where Dillon Brooks hits LeBron in the nuts. That was game three where that game was more or less over in the first quarter. That was the game where the Lakers had 35 and we had 9 points in the first quarter. Give it to them there. I mean, there's no coming back from that one. However, game four was the far more painful game to watch because we had the game in the palm of our hands. Lost 117 to 111 in overtime. A couple things I think are notable from last night's game is the where's the stat? It's 4 for what? I want to get it right. I want to make sure I get it right. 9 for 42 from three. That's inexcusable. And I mean, I know you can say, "Oh well, there's no way we shoot that bad again." I'm like, I don't know, man. We could at this rate. It seems like there's no continuity. I guess if I was taking some positives away from the game, it's that first off, Ja is back. He looks better than I could have expected. He gave us 45 in game three. He gave us what was it 19 and 7, which it felt like he had more than that, but he only went 8 for 24 from the field. Really, it was Desmond Bane's game. He had 36. Like I was telling Ryan, like I told y'all in the last episode, Bane was due for one. He got 36. He got the 35, 36 piece like I thought he would. Now, all that needs to happen is the Grizzlies need to blow out the Lakers, kind of like they did the Warriors last season in Game 6, 5. Game 5, which is tomorrow, which I will be going to with Bailey, who is my good luck charm because she is 12 for 12 with Grizzlies games. Bailey Freeman, soon-to-be wife, she has seen the Pistons, Spurs, Warriors, Timberwolves, Jazz, Mavericks, Wizards, Bucks, Thunder twice, Cavs, and Lakers in the game 2. So 12 for 12, nice. That's very impressive. Way to go, B. But anyway, hopefully just her sheer presence of being in the arena gets us that win. Hopefully that's enough to motivate the team. Hopefully Dillon Brooks and Ja Morant look up in the terrace and they see Bailey and they're like, damn, we gotta pull it out because Bailey's here tonight. But doubt they'll see her because we'll be literally on the back wall more than likely. But I just, like I said, I'm scatterbrained because I can't even believe what just happened last night. And I wish I could get Ryan on the phone because he could offer a unique perspective on it because as a Lakers fan, he couldn't be happier. Because even if they do drop tomorrow's game in Memphis, which the Grizzlies are favored in that game, they can just close it out in Game 6, which it's looking like they probably will. I mean, I don't want to excuse tomorrow's game and just act like the Grizzlies are just, they're just going to win it. But knowing the way that they lost these last two games, I would be surprised if they did not come out and win with this an effort of desperation and just come out and hopefully they blow them out. I mean, hopefully I don't have to sit there and just stress and rock back and forth. I know one thing. I'm not going to be screaming anymore. I can't take any more screaming because it's affecting me physically. It's affecting me mentally. I'm stressed out. I'm just kind of ready for it to be over in a way, but at the same time, it's not over because we do have to win 3 in a row. But if you can just win tomorrow's game and play the game of your life on Friday and somehow pull out because we freaking had it last night. So I know we can do it. I know we can at least make it competitive. Somehow just make it to a Game 7 and then we'll talk. Maybe just get to Game 7. Get to Sunday and then we'll just go from there. Maybe it'll be a toss-up. I mean, I'm kind of relying on LeBron James and the Lakers being tired, and I don't know if that's a smart move because LeBron LeBron's LeBron, and like I was telling Ryan the other day, if there's one thing I've learned from this series, it's like don't bet against LeBron, bro. He's so good, and he's 38 years old. I know, but damn, bro, he's ridiculous. And he had 20 and 20. I think it was like even 20 and 20, right? 20, 22 and 20. Yeah, and he's running up and down. He's hanging with the Grizzlies. Like he'll run with them, and he's doing his thing. However, and like I was telling my dad today, Anthony Davis did not have an amazing game by Anthony Davis standards. 12 points, 11 rebounds in 41 minutes, borderline 42 minutes. You know he's going to bounce back. I mean, you know he didn't give 100% effort in that game. I mean, he had Desmond Bane on him, which that ended up being a good move apparently because Anthony Davis did have 12 points. I don't know exactly what they did. I wasn't looking at it under a microscope. I was really just freaking hoping we would win the game. But Anthony Davis, you know, he's going to bounce back. Him and LeBron kind of go in rotation. LeBron will have a big game. Anthony Davis will have a big game. You know, LeBron will have another big game. I just start tomorrow. Take it one game at a time, and then just go from there. Going back to the maturity thing, though, people are talking about how John Morant and Dillon Brooks have been dodging the post-game press conferences, which, you know, normally you will catch me defending the Grizzlies one way or another, saying, you know, just trying to offer a new perspective that the media is not portraying, if that makes sense, because the media does portray the Grizzlies as the bad guys, which oftentimes, yes, that's warranted because the Grizzlies like to run around, talk all that ish, but they're not backing it up. And they're also not backing it up by not going to the post-game press conferences. Why are you not, like Dillon Brooks likes to get in front of the cameras and talk about LeBron's old, he's got to give me 40, but he won't get back up there whenever the Grizzlies lose, and that's a red flag. That's a red flag. I mean, if you're gonna dish it out, you got to take it. I mean, that's just sports 101. Honestly, that's life 101. I mean, if you're gonna be one of those guys that just talks that talk, wears that chain with all that bling on it, you know, you got to walk the walk. I mean, you got to not only prove it on the court, but like back it up in the media. I mean, pick it up right where you left off. I don't understand, bro. It's just the play on the court is one thing, but the immaturity is just showing badly these playoffs for the Grizzlies. Man, we got some work to do. And this is just ebbs and flows of a young team, of the second youngest team in the NBA, and it just sucks. It also sucks knowing we had a healthy Brandon Clark and Steven Adams in January. Man, I mean, but that's just part of the playoffs. I mean, the healthier team wins, and I'm not counting out the Grizzlies yet. I know we're down 3-1, but here's the thing. So today, Tuesday, make that clear. The Hawks and Celtics play. The Timberwolves and Nuggets play. The Clippers and Suns play. The Suns, Nuggets, and Celtics are all up 3-1 in that series. And they all have home court tonight. So they all can close it out in 5. And I can see the Celtics doing. I see all of those teams winning tonight. I mean, they're all favored, but I don't see a reason the Celtics, Nuggets, and Suns can't all win tonight and just be done with it. For their different reasons. Hawks, DeJounte Murray's not playing. Plus, it's in Boston. That one's done, right? Nuggets and Timberwolves. That one's in Denver. I mean, Timberwolves. They might pull it out, but I doubt it. The Clippers, obviously, they're without Kawhi and Paul George, so the Suns are probably going to take that one. But more importantly, Wednesday, the Cavs, the Grizzlies, the Bucks, and the Kings play. Well, let's just forget the Kings right now. What I'm focusing on is the Cavs, Grizzlies, and Bucks. They're playing against the Knicks, Lakers, and Heat. Now, the Knicks, Lakers, and Heat are all leading those series 3-1. But the Cavs, Grizzlies, and Bucks all have home court advantage in that game. So the odds that the Knicks, Lakers, and Heat all win in an away game to win the series in 5, it's pretty low. So my point is, either the Cavs, Grizzlies, or Bucks likely have a chance. One of those teams will push it to 7 games. I don't see the Cavs, Grizzlies, and Bucks all losing in 6 in the next game on the away team's court. Um, not saying that the Knicks, Lakers, Heat, Knicks, Lakers, Heat, Celtics, Nuggets, Suns. I'm not saying that they're all guaranteed a Game 7 or that their opposing team guarantees a Game 7. What I am saying is that the odds that all 3 of those teams just don't, or all 6 of those series don't go to a Game 7, I feel like, and I don't know the literal odds, but I'm saying it seems pretty low, especially because the Bucks and Grizzlies and Cavs all have home court advantage. Now, the Knicks, Lakers, and Heat all stole home court advantage, but my point is 2 of those 3 games will be on home court. So hopefully the Grizzlies is that team that can push it to 7. The Bucks is probably the better, option if you were going to bet, but that's a whole other thing. Jimmy Butler had 56 the other day. I mean, you think that he's just going to give it to him? No, but Milwaukee's got a chance on their home court Wednesday. The Grizzlies have a chance Wednesday. Cavs have a chance Wednesday. You just start there. If you can just take it one game at a time and go from there, that's all you can do. Possession by possession, little by little. And then the hard part would be, at least for the Grizzlies, would be Friday in Los Angeles. I mean, we know how we are on the road. I think we're 0-16 whenever we are underdogs in a series, game by game basis. That does not give me peace of mind. Last night could have been the one time where we won, and we had it and we let it go. And God, it was just the emotions in that living room between me and Ryan, because at some point, someone is mad. We're not both happy at the same time. If the Grizzlies score, I'm like, yeah, let's go, obviously. And vice versa. If D'Angelo Russell hits 3 threes in a row, I'm sitting there just going through the motions. I'm just like, man. And the fact that we're leaving people open from 3. I understand that they're not in your scouting report and they're not your priority from the 3-point line, but you got to respect them, especially if they hit 2 in a row. If Vanderbilt hits a 3 and he sees it go in, maybe you need to get out there. Maybe you need to contest that. It's a rough time. It's a rough time to be me. And, not like woe is me. I mean, the Grizzlies, I like to think that John Morant and Dillon Brooks, although as a professional you're supposed to do the press game or the post-game press conference, I like to think maybe they just did that so that they can just focus in, lock in as much as you possibly can for Wednesday, and just try to stay out of the. I don't know why Ja would be worried necessarily. Maybe he's just not. I don't know why Ja would be ducking the press, but Dillon Brooks, on the other hand, I mean, that's a whole nother case. He just doesn't want the question. So, do you respect LeBron now, or what happened, Dillon? Like, why is LeBron bitching you out there? What happened, Dillon? He would get those kind of questions, and he wouldn't. I mean, what do you do if you're Dillon Brooks? You're just like, yeah, they got me. Well, that's what you should do. You should be like, they got the best of me this series. Or, not this series. It's not over. But, LeBron got the best of me that game. I probably shouldn't have talked the way I did. Just own up to it is what I'm saying. Just say you messed up. Because I don't know how I can ever forgive Dillon Brooks. And I don't know if we need to let him go. Let him walk, do some kind of sign and trade in the offseason. He is a free agent, I believe. But man, bro, it's just tough, man. You're basically what Dillon Brooks did is what's the word I'm looking for? He is basically proving everybody right about the Grizzlies all season, about the narratives of the Grizzlies are just a team that are gonna, they're good in the regular season. They're gonna talk their talk. They're gonna dance on you. They're gonna let you know about it whenever they're doing well, whenever they have a highlight play, whenever they win the game. They're gonna all get in front of the camera. They're gonna let you know about it. They're gonna talk, but they can they back it up? Can they prove it to us in the playoffs? Is there ever going to be a time where we see the Grizzlies, celebrating, and we look at them as a team that is actually championship capable? Because we just think the Grizzlies are out there strutting their stuff, having a good time, but we don't think they're really about it. And Dillon Brooks has basically painted the whole franchise as just like a laughing stock this playoffs, single-handedly, because I will say single-handedly because he did poke the bear. He didn't think it was he didn't think it was a big deal, but he literally lit a fire under LeBron's ass. And now we're down 3-1. And he was not ready for the moment. Not only did the Lakers win and blow us out in Game 3 and scratch by in Game 4, but Dillon Brooks did not back that up. Back up his talk in Game 3. Not offensively, not defensively. Hitting people in the nuts does not count as defense, unfortunately. Dillon Brooks in that game, 7 points on 3 for 13 shooting, 1 for 5 from the 3. Now, I was telling Ryan last night, in Game 4, that was more so the Dillon we need. He did not have the most shot attempts, and he did play a good bit of good. So he had 11 points in 40 minutes. Obviously, this was an overtime game, so he played quite a bit. 4 for 11 shooting. That's 36% from the field. I mean, that's could be better, obviously, but that's not awful. And he did shoot 1 for 7 from 3. I mean, I don't know. I got mixed feelings about it because if you're wide open, you got to shoot it. You got to make them respect you, but 1 for 7 ain't doing it for me. I don't know. I mean, Dillon Brooks or Desmond Bane went 3 for 12. I mean, that's not much better, but you got to let it fly, bro. I mean, nobody was hitting the 3, so I won't put that on Dillon. Nobody was hitting that the other night. And I just like to think maybe when we get on home court Wednesday, maybe we can, when we're in a familiar environment, we are the best home court team this season. Maybe we can pull it out. We probably will pull it out, I would say, because I know how resilient we can be. And, I know we did not win Game 4, but, man, you could tell that they wanted it, though. And it was a vast difference from the effort that I saw in Game 3. So they're capable. They can do it. But it's Game 6 in L.A. that I'm fearful of. On a Friday night, they're going to close it out on their home court because they know if they don't win in 6, they very well could win tomorrow. But if they don't win in 6, I like the Grizzlies' chances in a Game 7 slightly. It's a toss-up. But if the Grizzlies can't even get there to a Game 7, they don't need to worry about Game 7. They need to worry about Wednesday. And if you're Taylor Jenkins and the coaching staff, you need to think about what kind of approach can you take for Friday, assuming we can get there to a Game 6, because we're not doing it on the road. We're just not, especially not in the playoffs. This is every year. We're not winning in the playoffs. We need a vet. And, I know we have Steven Adams, but it's like the Grizzlies are looking to Dillon Brooks as if he's a veteran leader. Yeah, technically, I guess he's a vet. Not really. I know he's the longest tenured Grizzly, which might be an issue because, when all these players are drafted, when Jaren, Bane, Ja are drafted, they're looking at Dillon Brooks as the guy. And he unfortunately is not like someone I feel like should be setting the example. Not on the court. Not off the court as far as the stuff he says in the media. I'm sure he's a great teammate. All of his teammates vouch for him. I'm not jabbing at Dillon Brooks as a person. From what I hear, he's like a good person. The Dillon Brooks you see in the media, is pretty stoic, pretty straight-faced, pretty, just like, oh, yeah, I'm Dillon. I think that's a facade, but that can't be, bro. That can't be. I just, I need a moment. I need a moment of silence, and hold on. This is gonna be great. This is gonna be great. All right, I'm about to read y'all some Grizzlies. I'm gonna let y'all know I'm not the only one here. I'm gonna read y'all some Grizzlies comments on Instagram because I need to relate to somebody first and foremost, and let y'all know how much everybody thinks it's pretty much over, one way or the other. Not only, I mean, it's funny because I love how Laker fans all come to the Grizzlies comment section just to start shit. That's great. Lakers all day, every day. Nice try. Hands clapping. That's great. Here's a Grizzlies guy, I think. Can't even be mad when the refs are on their side. Y'all played great having to play 3 teams at once. Refs, Lakers, and reporters. They're not going to let the all-time scorer lose in the first round. I don't necessarily agree that the refs were a problem. I mean, there were questionable calls both ways, on both sides. And I think watching it with a fan of the other team has helped me understand that the calls aren't as bad sometimes as you might think, because he's calling out stuff that he disagrees with while I'm calling out stuff that I disagree with. So we're getting both sides of it. Let's see here. We'll never win a championship with Ja as our starting point guard. He another Russell Westbrook. I mean, that's not a cold take. It's not a hot take. Russell and Ja are quite different. Ja Morant likes to facilitate his teammates, and he's smooth with it. You know what I mean? He does have Russell Westbrook tendencies where he just goes balls to the wall sometimes and just kind of gets ahead of himself. But I was thinking about this too. You look through history, you don't see a lot of point guard led teams, like with the point guard as the star franchise player, the best player. You don't see those teams winning championships. You mainly see wing dominant, post dominant players winning the championships. I mean, let's just go back through the past years. All right, let's just say now Stephen Curry and the Warriors is a different scenario. I don't know how to explain it, but Stephen Curry is just a generational talent, and the entire system that they have built runs through him. From Draymond Green, Clay, I mean, and they also had Wiggins, who was freaking great in the playoffs last year. You got to have wing defenders, and that's what Dillon Brooks is supposed to be for us. But let's say Allen Iverson, like he was very similar to John Morant, very electric, an entertaining player, but he didn't get it done as the guy. Russell Westbrook, like we were just talking about, can't get it done when he is the guy. He got close with KD, but that's because of KD. I mean, Derrick Rose. That Bulls team from the early 2010s, that's very similar to the Grizzlies now. Young, fun to watch. Derrick Rose jumping out of the gym. Very similar situation. So hopefully we can get like another piece that can a 3-and-D vet. That's what we need. We need a 3-and-D vet to replace Dillon Brooks with, like, you know what I mean, like a Harrison Barnes almost, like someone that we can put there at that 3 spot that can defend just as good as Dillon Brooks. Or I mean, maybe not as good because you have to have the offensive talent as well, but someone that can hold his own with guys like LeBron, Kevin Durant. You know who we wanted and who we tried to get is OG Anunoby. That would be a great fit. I mean, I know he's not a veteran, but he's going to guard, and he's going to hit shots on the offensive end. Perfect. I mean, we need a guy like that. A guy that's going to lock down, not necessarily freaking talk all the time, not necessarily bark. We don't need that. I feel like that era needs to be on the transition out. We got to first win games before we start grittying all over the court. You know what I mean? I mean, it's fun to watch, and it was fun to watch for a period of time, but it's getting old, Grizz. It's getting a little old because I'd rather win basketball games, you know? But that's part of our identity. We're supposed to be that team that, you know, kind of talks their talk, and we just haven't walked the walk lately. That's the main difference. And it's killing us. We just win tomorrow, for the love of God. Me and my dad are going. Me and my fiance are going. We're all going to sit together. We're going to have a good time. I mean, one way you could look at it is it could be the Grizzlies' last game of the year, so we just need to enjoy it. Even if we're losing by 29, bro, I should be happy to be there, man. I don't know. I don't know how far we were going to go anyway with Ja's hand. Without Steven Adams, without Clark. Man, bro, got a headache. I need to take some ibuprofen. Man, if I don't see y'all again for a while, I appreciate anybody who is listening, liking or commenting or subscribing on YouTube and Spotify. I do appreciate everything. It's been a fun couple months doing this. Well, really like 3 months, but doing this podcast. Like I said, appreciate y'all. If I don't talk to y'all again, go GRIZZ or go whoever you're rooting for. Peace out.